Hi Pisces, welcome to your November 2016 love reading. It's Rena here, and I found a new love spread on Pinterest that I've been trying out with all the signs, and so I'm going to do that for you. And I will just say right now that if you'd like a private reading after hearing this and you resonate with it, you can click on the link below and it will take you to my website. So let's see how this works out for your sign. Okay, very interesting. And I think that the camera is capturing all of the, cards, so that's really awesome. I just got a new tripod and I'm really happy with it. So, in the recent past, we have the Devil card. How many major arcanas? We have 3 of them. So, Pisces, this represents some sort of situation that felt compulsive for you. The typical scenarios that I present are either that you were in a relationship with somebody where it was a sex thing, as I call it, or, primarily like a physical relationship rather than being multifaceted. Or it could be an overly materialistic relationship. And I honestly believe that the latter might even be more likely in a lot of cases, because Pisces is a water sign, and the water and earth signs are very dollars and cents. However, Pisces is the least rational out of any of those signs, and I don't say that as an insult. And I'm sure that some of you may not take that as an insult either, because your ruler is Neptune, and Neptune is the opposite of rational. And, if you look at the astrological chart, the Neptune rules the 12th house, and Virgo, Mercury, rule the 6th house. And Mercury is the planet of the mind and communications. So you're talking about, and also Virgo is an earth sign, and Pisces is a water sign. So they're on this polarity of, being, very grounded and practical, Virgo, and your sign, Pisces, it's a water sign, but ruled by Neptune. It's very otherworldly. So, I feel like, you're the kind of person that might be attracted to somebody who's an earth sign. And actually, hey, I forgot to tell you this, the Devil card is connected to Saturn in Capricorn. So definitely could be someone who happens to be a Capricorn, and that is an earth sign. And a person like that may be, so consumed with their career, or consumed with amassing this bank account, that it kind of made the relationship very dry and also not spiritual enough for you. Because Pisces, whether you go to a church every Sunday, or you, run naked in the woods and, pray to the moon, or whether you just sit at home on Sunday watching, the Bears game. I got to represent Chicago. But whatever it is that you're doing, you're a spiritual being, and you're the most spiritual being out of any sign of the zodiac. Even if you write to me and tell me you're an atheist who is obsessed with talking about the non-existence of God. So you're always talking about God. I always say that I respect atheists more than, agnostics, because at least they're always talking about the existence of God or the non-existence of God. At least it's on their minds. People who don't even think about those things, who don't even bother to think about them, to me, they're in worse shape than somebody who is like fighting against it, because at least they're even thinking about it. So in any case, there may be something going on that's not feeling natural, that didn't feel natural. And how you saw yourself is represented by the star. So this is a card of hope. You knew that things would get better eventually. Maybe you kind of just stayed in that situation until you knew you could get away from it. And actually, when I look at the star card is having faith in the unseen. Not needing something to prove itself to you at this moment. And so, what you learned from this experience is represented by the Two of Swords. And that is that you may have learned that you were not resolute about something. Maybe, the Two of Swords is about not being able to make a decision and being on the fence. And I think, if you know about what the symbol of Pisces is, it's two fish swimming in opposite directions. And so in that sense, your basic nature is sometimes at odds with itself. It's like sometimes you can't decide exactly what to do because you are of two minds. It's a sign of duality. Actually, all of the mutable signs are dual signs. So, the Sagittarius is half man and half horse? Yeah, horse. So it's a centaur is half man, half horse. Then you have the Geminis are the twins, and Virgo are the virgins. So you have two fish swimming in opposite directions, and so you're of two minds, and you may realize, wow, I can't make a decision about this because there is something about that relationship that still has value to me, even though I know that I'm trapped in it. Okay, so let's look at the current state to kind of gain clarity over this. And it's a Hierophant. This is a card associated with Taurus. So that earth sign might actually be a Taurus. Did I use Taurus as an example? I was thinking of Taurus, I think, but I mentioned Capricorn. So it might be a Taurus, but it could be also that because the Hierophant refers to organized religion and traditional values. Marriage is one of them. So it could be that, you know what I was thinking? Hello, I didn't think about this. Some people may be dealing with an extramarital affair. Sometimes when you get twos, there are two people that are up for the choosing. And because it's a devil card, it could be that there's this compulsive sexual relationship, and yet you're still in this marriage, and you can't make a decision. And you've learned, maybe the thing that you have learned is that being indecisive is kind of symbolic of a lot of things. Maybe in general, some of you are a little bit tending to never quite, you know, be satisfied with where you are. I think, you know, the fact that you're influenced by Neptune means that you're very idealistic, and sometimes the fantasy of, you know, what romance is supposed to be can never match the reality of the day-to-day existence that you have when you're with a partner. And that's something to reconcile with, because, you know, if you do not become realistic about what a committed partnership entails, you may constantly be searching for that ideal person, but it's only, you know, from some cheap romance novel. It's not really what life is about. The other possibility, and I do feel that this is very true, is that, you know, maybe some of you who are idealistic, that's right on time. That's something that you should be, that you should not settle for less. You know, because you're a water sign, you want you know, to touch souls with another person. You don't want to just have a marriage that's almost like a business partnership where you're very, you know, you're very good in terms of building an empire, but you're not necessarily relating to one another in a spiritual or romantic way. And so that's definitely something to consider. But I feel like, you know, if you're the one who is doing the cheating, just remember that living in integrity is also, I feel, important. And I realize that one size doesn't fit all, and you can't just judge every situation. Sometimes these extramarital affairs are an important bridge for people to leave a relationship, you know, if they are in a very toxic relationship. So I can't just I would never judge anyone without knowing all the facts, and even after that, you know, I have no intention to judge. But on the other hand, I want to kind of encourage people to live lives that where you really stand in truth when you're dealing with other people, that you're not sneaking around. And because I feel like, you know, you're an adult, you don't need to sneak around, you don't need to lie. You can be who you are. And this is like, I think that some of you really are interested in that kind of structure for your relationship, but maybe if you're already in a marriage that isn't working, you're not interested in this person anymore. For some of you, maybe you're looking for that within this partner. Maybe you are the one who is the other person, the other woman, for instance, and you are looking for marriage. Maybe you've been promised that marriage is in the works, and yet you haven't seen any evidence of that. There's no movement. Okay, so, you know, this could be something that transpires, and this is connected with the King of Pentacles. And again, Pentacles, earth element. The King of Pentacles relates to a particular person who could be a male, who could be a business person or a boss of a company, you know, a president of a bank, you know, anybody who has a position of authority, but it deals with goods or money, you know, in the monetary, maybe an accountant. And this person could be the person that you are interested in. So it could be an earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And this person may be very stable. You know, they may be very financially secure, and they may be very successful, and everybody knows that they're successful. The king is like the ultimate expression of that suit. So in the Pentacles suit, it's the tangible goods. So this is a person who really has a lot of, you know, kind of groundedness when it comes to their material life. And on the heels of this card, you know, could definitely be of the Taurus variety. Now, him in your life, it sounds to me like you're going to be moving away from this person. Maybe you're having an affair with your boss, because this is a card of how you're going to react to this coming in for you, this person. This is you, you know, leaving, searching for something more meaningful. What did I say? What was the first card I said? I said it might be an overly materialistic situation. This is a person who is very concerned. If they have a business, they are, you know, going to be the person that's the head of it. And so they may be workaholics. They may be always involved with something, dealing with their business. They may not have much time for a relationship. If you are married to such a person, for instance, you may be married to somebody who's married to their business. And you may have been attracted to them because they were successful. You may have been attracted to some other quality that they possessed. When you were able to, you know, be with them when you were in the dating period, but it got to the point where they were so consumed by work that you never saw them. Now, the Knight of Pentacles would be somebody who has their nose to the grindstone and is really amassing their fortune. I think the king, since the king is a mature energy, this is somebody who's kind of already made their mark, so to speak. If they have a business, they've had it for a while. It's not something new. Although I guess it could be if they are the head and they have underlings and, you know, they've gotten to that position. But it could be perhaps this person is a great deal older than you, or if you work with this person, they are, you know, either the head of the actual company or they have seniority or somehow are your superior. You may even answer to them, or maybe they are in a different department, but they are very prominent in that business. But again, I think it's kind of a conflict in terms of time, being able to see this person. And so the end result is, the final outcome is the Six of Cups. So it could be, this is again a situation, I keep picking this lately, and I don't know what that symbolizes. I think maybe a lot of people are going under transitions with relationships, perhaps, and maybe they are trying to, because, you know, we're all having, there's so much energy and shifts going on at the moment. Maybe all of us are changing, and that is putting stress on relationships and causing a lot of them to break up. And it could be that people are looking to the past to kind of, you know, guide them in terms of what they want in a relationship, which really makes sense to me, because the Six of Cups is all about, you know, as we say, the good old days when life was simpler, you know, everything was clear cut, you know, you had friendships and they were very well defined, and there were no hidden agendas or anything like that. And we, you know, children don't try to build themselves up to make themselves look good, because they really are devoid of ego. Unfortunately, you know, at younger and younger ages, children are being, you know, forced to act like, you know, little adults, and so that is making them, you know, adopt some of those ego defenses that don't usually come into play until they are at least in their mid-teens or so. And now that's happening at an earlier age, and they're losing that innocence. But that innocence is also about uncomplicated relationships that aren't full of mind games, you know, manipulations. It also could indicate that you meet somebody or connect with somebody from your past. So a high school sweetheart. It doesn't even have to be a high school sweetheart. It could be somebody that you knew in high school, maybe it was through a brother or sister, or just any kind of circle of friends that you hung out in, and you just like happened to, you know, reunite with them. Maybe you went to a high school reunion. In the Northern Hemisphere, we're having autumn, and that tends to be when the high school reunions happen. And so maybe that's how you hook up, or on Facebook, you know, that sort of thing. Facebook is like a perpetual high school reunion, isn't it? And so that might be coming in for you, but also just a water sign individual. I would say specifically Cancer, because Cancer tends to embody that nostalgia. They love the past, Cancers do. Very good at history too. But you don't want to get into an argument with a Cancer, because they'll bring up something you did like 20 years ago. They have it all filed away. But yeah, so that might be a fellow water sign. And then again, you see, we're talking about diagonally. You're going from something that is kind of more of an addictive quality, compulsive, so it might deal with the pleasures of the flesh, or just, you know, the material world. And then you have this more spiritual kind of a connection, which is right up your alley, Pisces. So I hope you enjoyed this and have a great November. Bye.